Following up on our complete walkthrough of Turok Evolution, I made this video, which provides some biographical details about the game, my personal review of it, gag reel and bloopers and glitches from when we made the series. I think this is a good way to wrap up, and video game projects I do in the future will probably include a video like this as well. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Here's the Turok wrap-up show. The origin story of Turok follows Talset, an 18th century Native American warrior who falls through a wormhole into an Earth-like planet where he finds himself the reluctant hero of the river villagers, a human society being threatened by the Slegs, a dinosaur-descended fascist regime. He has to battle them on sea, on the land, in the air, in caves, in their bunkers, all over the place, all while being pursued by a whole array of hungry dinosaurs and primitive apes. I won't rehash deeper than that since the story is better unfolded through the actual walkthrough, but that's the background. Let's talk about how the game came to be. Turok Evolution is actually the fourth game in the Turok series, which began in 1997 with Turok Dinosaur Hunter, and was followed by two direct sequels, Seeds of Evil and Shadow of Oblivion, both of which came out on the Nintendo 64 platform. In the middle of the second and third installment, there was also a non-canonical sequel called Rage Wars. Turok Evolution is actually a prequel that came out in 2002. There was also a Game Boy Advance version, which was a side-scroller, and a reboot to the series in 2008 called Turok, just Turok, for the Xbox 360. Turok Evolution was produced by Jeff Everett, who worked on some of the other Turok sequels, as well as Wing Commander, Armada, and the original South Park video game for PS1. He's also worked on some direct-to-video films and TV shows as an art director and producer. The game was directed by Neil Glancy, a 25-year industry veteran who's still making games today. His other credits include Vex, Stranglehold, Torn, the 2016 Doom reboot, and many more. The game's score, frequently pointed at as its most impressive feature, was provided by Nelson Everhart, who in addition to the music on a number of video game projects, has also played on the soundtracks of some major films, like the Crow sequel and the original Fantastic Four sequel. The critics scored Evolution in the high 60 to mid 70 range. They cited its simple yet somehow still convoluted story and poor AI as negatives. Most reviewers agreed that the action and the rendering of the environments were pretty impressive and that the gameplay was a lot of fun in spite of those shortcomings, although the PlayStation 2 version has been singled out as inferior in those regards as well, specifically because of problems with frame rate. In any case, the game sold well enough to greenlight a sequel by Acclaim, but that was abandoned in the middle of production and the team moved on to other projects. So the Turok series stopped with this prequel. Turok Evolution is where it ended. The Turok reboot from 2008 was published by Disney Interactive and has nothing to do with the original Acclaim series, other than that there's dinosaurs. As I understand, it follows one of the comics more closely, and there have been a half dozen different versions of comics, most of which predate the game series. I stumbled upon the game shortly after I got the original Xbox. While Halo was the big iconic title which drove Xbox sales because of its exclusivity, I actually bought one to play the third Oddworld game, which had jumped platforms from PlayStation to Microsoft. I didn't love Halo when I first played it. It was only later, playing with my son, that it kind of grew on me and I got on board. Anyway, after finishing Oddworld Munch's Odyssey, I was looking for a new game and I found Turok Evolution at GameStop. Anything with dinosaurs I'm on board pretty much, so pretty much always has been. So I brought the game home knowing nothing about it other than the cover was cool, with a velociraptor menacing the player from behind it. It was a love-hate thing with me with this game, because I really liked the first-person shooter parts, but I absolutely hated the flying parts. Battles with evil dinosaur humanoid military empire, tons of cool weapons, dinosaurs. This game was a really good time, and I'm a fan of Talset. He's not totally silent like Gordon Freeman, but he's very stoic, a reluctant hero. I think the way they portray him in the cutscenes conveys his charisma. On the original Xbox, This plays much smoother than the patch 360 version that unfortunately I had to use for my playthrough for the recording purposes. While Turok Evolution has features I dislike that were common in games of this era, like how easy it is to walk too close to a cliff or fall off a ladder and die, the overall experience was good and was fun. It was challenging but not maddening. This is from a time in my life when my oldest son was a little too young to play himself, so he'd watch me, helping me to solve puzzles and cheering me on as I blew things up. And those memories will always kind of cast the game in a positive light for me. That said, I'd objectively still recommend checking this out if you have the means. A couple years ago, the first couple of games in the series were ported to PSN and Xbox Live, so I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that we could get a remastered release of this in the future. Until that happens, check out your local disc replay or eBay for the original Xbox version, if you still have one of those that runs. So that's Turok Evolution. It was a lot of fun playing through it again for me, and I hope you enjoyed it, or if it helped you on a point you were stuck on, got through it. I really would love to play this game in its full remastered glory with some new extra content, maybe some levels, some stuff from the sequel that never got quite put together. I could see things like that coming out on the Xbox or PlayStation Network's platform in the future. I would definitely buy it if that were the case. Thanks very much again for listening. If you want to leave a comment or like or subscribe, you can keep up with us on all our content we have on video games, comics, movies, and all the fun stuff in life, basically. So, thank you.